Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine. We're going to be interviewing Matt from Dyn.com, DYN.com, and then we're going to shake some tambourines, shaky-wise. Color, lights.
If they're 45, don't go. They're going to buy you 40. Oh! Won't you sing a song for me up in the willow tree?
All right, we're here at the Dyn event at South by Southwest. We're here with Matt Toy.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, what's your role at Dyn?
So my role at Dyn is I am the Vice President of Client Services.
Okay, so what does that mean?
So I oversee a handful of teams that work with our customers all the way from our free customers up through the consumer and small and mid-sized companies all the way up into the web enterprise.
Oh, okay. So you've got your hands in all those pots.
Absolutely, yeah. Once you sign up for the service, whether you go through the website or you go through a sales rep, once you come on, you get to work with my team. So
now we talk a lot about enterprise DNS, but we don't really talk about consumer DNS, the consumer side of things. And there's a lot to offer here. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what Dyn has to offer the consumer?
Sure. And I think even consumer is kind of a blended statement. So
nowadays, a consumer will start a website, and next thing you know, it becomes viral.
Exactly.
And they've got a business.
And they have a reason. So I think that's we still our roots are kind of in the freemium play. So you can come on, you get a free single host name to remote access into your home computer or your DVR or your closed circuit camera. Yeah. And then we have a paid service for that same option, so you can get access to support. You can get multiple host names. So if you have save multiple addresses or you want to do things, and then we have where you really get in, and those two things are where the true consumer is going to stay. And there's really not a spectrum upstream in that. Dynamic DNS is dynamic DNS, so that's going to be the key. But when you get into that SMB market is when you get into a level where you're talking about somebody who starts small and could explode. You and I were talking about it earlier with a band. You get the myband.com, and all of a sudden you're the next one on the radio, right? All of a sudden myband.com isn't small anymore.
Or somebody goes, I could do a little bit better than that. That website sucks. I'll make it. And next thing you know, they've invested their time. They've come up to people like Mark Cuban asking for money, and there's actually, and I only say that because there is one person I just talked to. I think it's WeIQ or something like that.
Yeah, they're here. I realize they're here.
And they just got funding from, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that on camera or not, but he didn't tell me it was private. Yeah. So they got funding from Mark Cuban, and now they're pushing forward. So you never know where your customer goes from there.
And that's Twitter is one of our sort of banner customers on the web enterprise side. But they started off on a $30 a year service when they were still in the concept stage. They hadn't really come up with a product yet, and they lived there. They grew through there. They exploded out of there. But it's a great place for those kind of companies to start. But it's also just a fine place to stay too. You can create mom and pop hardware store.com. Like that's never going to become Restoration Hardware. But even if it doesn't, that's a great place to stay. You get access to the support team. You run into problems, we can help you. We have a great network of partners, so if you're looking for different kinds of services that you might not be able to find on your own, or you just don't have the time, and we're talking about that too, we can introduce you to some people and help get those kinds of services that maybe Dyn doesn't offer them, but we definitely know people who do. So part of it.
Well, you've been here long enough to help launch things like Twitter. Yep. You have big names under your umbrella. A lot of great companies. Netflix is one of them. Twitter, of course. What else we got?
Pandora, Zappos, yeah, and you know, on and on. I mean, we've mentioned the big names that are, you know, my mom and dad will know. But I mean, we've got hundreds and thousands of smaller, you know, entities that are ready to explode. You know, like, and have that sort of Mark Cuban funded. You know, a lot of them are here and they're going to pop off in the next year or, you know, 6 months or something. So you know, it's a platform. Really, what we're doing is we create a platform where you can buy what you need today and then just turn the knob up when it's time to turn the knob up, and you know, we're ready to be able to help you out with that. And that's both on the DNS and the email delivery side. So if you need to, you know, you've built that really cool app that everybody wants to get behind, and you send out those transactional emails, somebody posted on your wall or somebody DM'd you, and you're doing, you know, a few thousand of those today, and all of a sudden that becomes a few 100,000, and it becomes a few million, and then a few 100 million. You know, we're able to turn that dial up on our end so that you don't have to consume whatever funding you might have, whatever human capital you might have. You just worry about the thing you do best, and we'll do the back-end infrastructure stuff that you know, typically is where people don't want to spend their time.
Okay, so let's say I'm a consumer, Joe consumer. I don't even have ideas of websites in my sugar plums in my head and stuff like that. For the consumer, what's the ends on that? What do I get through the free service, right?
So the free service is pretty basic. Like you're at home, or you're at work and you want to be able to access something from someplace else, whether it's a remote desktop, or you know, you travel like I do a lot and you want to be able to get to your DVR remotely, or you have a vacation home and you want to make sure that there's a hurricane going on, you want to make sure it's still standing, you want to access that remote camera. That's what the free service is really best for. Now if you have multiple things like that, now say you have all three of those, now maybe you want to pay us so that you don't have to manage it in 3 different places. You can have a single place to do that in. And then, you know, that kind of the early Twitter or the mom and pop hardware.com, you know, that's where you'd come kind of mid-spectrum on that. And that's, you know, kind of the low volume, single data center or whatever kind of setup. And then as you get more volume, or you have to move your website to multiple locations or multiple continents, and you want to begin to manage traffic, you know, between data centers, or manage traffic between clouds, or manage traffic between CDNs, you know, that's really where, you know, DNS at its core is simply, you know, mapping, you know, 1.1.1.1 to some URL. You can use it for a lot of other things that are, you know, DNS is not cool and sexy, but the stuff we can control, you know, allows us to control cool and sexy things. And I think that's the biggest kind of value prop. And with email, you can spend all your time and energy keeping yourself out of the spam folder and off blacklists, or you could outsource that to us and we can help you with that. So
and then you take it off your website, and all of a sudden everything is faster. Exactly. Which is why you have faster with DYN.
And speed is good, right? And the faster you can move, you know, the more analytics you can grab, the more ads you can load, the more stuff you can do. So DNS should be quick, DNS should be painless, and at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do.
Now we got, you might not be able to see this, but behind us, not that guy, but behind us is artist. Who's playing right now?
So this is Dan Blakesley. He's an artist. He's out of Boston, Massachusetts. So we brought him down here, you know, from the Northeast with us. But you know, he's the first of 7 bands who are going to play today. And at the end of the night, we've got Dawes out of LA, and this is the 2nd year they played for us, and they killed it last year. Yeah. So and they've been on the road for the better part of the year. So we're excited to see what they're going to come back with. So
well, looking at the line outside that I didn't have to stand in, I'm glad that you guys, you definitely got a good show tonight.
We've been told that this is the best party on the Tuesday at South by, which is the cutover day from Interactive, the music. So you know, there's a lot of bands, a lot of stuff going on here. So we definitely wear that with a badge of honor.
That's a good thing. So well, Matt, I'll let you get back to the party, let you get back to the drinks, and thanks a lot for talking to me.
Thank you so much.
Of course, yeah, check it all out over at Dyn.com, DYN.com. Remember that code podcast30. Podcast30 is going to get you 30% off over at Dyn.com. Whether you're doing it for yourself, whether you're doing it for your small business, whether you're doing it for your enterprise. Companies like Twitter, Zappos, just like we said, are using this service to make faster internet. So remember, DYN.com/podcast30 for 30% off.